Hey everyone, so in this video I'm going to show you how to make some wings for your totem. I know a lot of you have decided that that's something that you want to do, and so I want to make sure that I cover that. Now, you can make your wings however you want, and I like it when you guys figure out how to do something on your own because it takes more brain power. You have to use creative and critical thinking skills to figure something out on your own. But I know some of you guys were doing that and it just wasn't working. So here's what I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you how to add a wing, and I'm also gonna show you again how to add a snout. Okay, all right, so first thing you're gonna do is, let's say you just have a ball of clay like this. Okay, you're gonna take your clay, you're gonna slam it down on the table, and you're gonna start pounding it down. Okay. All right, after you've done that, flip it, pound. Now, if you have a bunch of wrinkles in it, you need to smooth it out. So you're gonna take your fingers, smooth it out. Now, I have this about as thick as a hamburger patty. You don't want it super thin or else it's not gonna be very strong as a wing, okay? Again, you can shape the wings however you want. What I'm gonna do is I am gonna take my stylus and kind of draw it out with my stylus, or you could do it with a toothpick first, and then I'm gonna cut the clay. Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna take stylus. I'm gonna draw the shape that I want. Okay, so let's say this is the shape that I want. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna take my stylus and I'm going to cut the clay. Okay, notice I'm holding it as I cut it. Okay, so I've got my wing cut. Okay, when you get this far, you want to take some time to just smooth it out. Okay, make sure it's how you want it. Now, if I was making this for real, not just for a demo video, I would really spend some time smoothing it out and shaping it. But I'm just going to do it briefly, and then I'm going to show you how to attach it. Okay. So you also want to put the wing up and see, is this going to be too big? Okay, and I'm actually thinking, now that I have it up here, I'm like, that's going to be a little too big. So now I'm going to chop off some of the wing. Okay, and then put it back up again. Ooh, much better. Okay, now you can either take a stylus or a fork and you can score. Okay, you're gonna score the surface that you're gonna add it to. Okay, score, slip. Okay, remember the scoring is the Velcro, the slip is the glue. Okay, now attach. Okay, and a lot of people think they're done once they've done this. You are not done once you've done this. Now you need to seal. Okay, and you don't just have to use your fingers, you can use a tool to seal. Okay, so I'm using my stylus to help me seal that wing on. You can even take a little extra clay to help you seal if that's what it needs. Okay, so I'm just smoothing that all out. That's the sealing process. Okay, now you might notice your wing is going to be a little floppy. That's because the clay is still very soft. Okay, as the clay kind of dries out and hardens, it won't be quite as floppy. Okay, wings are going to be kind of fragile. You're going to need to be careful with them while you're working on your piece. Okay, all right, so that's how you add a wing. Okay, now snout. Okay, I showed it in the other video. I'm going to show it again because I know this is another thing some of you have been struggling with. First thing you're going to do is roll your clay into a ball. Okay, just roll into a ball. Decide where you want your snout to be. score in that spot, okay? Now I'm gonna score the clay, okay? Slip, slip, okay? Now I'm gonna put that ball of clay onto the surface, okay? And now I'm going to take my stylus, seal it on there, okay? Once I've sealed it on there, I'm gonna smooth out, okay, around. I'm gonna seal that snout on. Now I'm ready to kind of shape it. So you're gonna actually use your fingers to kind of pinch it into the shape that you want. I know some of you said you wanted to do a fox snout. Those are thinner and pointier, okay? So now what I'm doing is I'm pinching the clay and getting it into a thinner, pointier type snout, okay? Then if you want, you can go ahead, take a toothpick, draw parts of the nose onto the clay. Okay. And then you're ready to start drawing the rest of your design on the clay. Now, when you're drawing your design on the clay, I've noticed that some people have been going so deep into the clay that they end up with big clumps of clay coming up. Like this is, I'm gonna just show you what not to do. This is what I've been seeing people do. Okay, and then look, you end up with all this extra clay that you don't want. Don't do that. You're only making your life harder, okay? And if you mess up, you can erase just like I just did, okay? Take a toothpick, okay? And you're just simply drawing on the surface of the clay. You see how I'm doing this ever so gently, okay? Remember, it doesn't have to look realistic. You can put your own spin on it, okay? All right, so now I've got a pointy snout, okay? And I've got a wing. All right, I hope that covered some of the things that you guys have been kind of struggling with. All right, happy art making.